Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are back on playing some Ark, which is exciting. We're back actually on Olympus, carrying on this this treehouse aviary kind of thing that we were working on before with the custom stairs. So that is where we're up to at the moment. I've done a little bit, obviously, behind the scenes since you last saw it. I mentioned there'd be a fair amount of grinding. There was enormous amount of grinding, and it's pretty rough, but I'm kind of okay with it being pretty rough. I ended up removing the inner layer. It looks better kind of just from the... it looks a bit sort of better from distance, but I think it's kind of coming along. What I need to do now is remove or replace all these. You'll see I've started to do it. Replace all the wood ceilings, because in a lot of places we need those ceilings, because the benches themselves are actually sitting on them, just on the corner bits basically. So we've got to replace all of these wooden ones with obviously with glass metal ones. So I'll do that while it's raining, I think, and I'll bring you back once you've got that, and I'll show you what I'm kind of planning to do next. Alright, back in a sec. Okay, stop raining just in time for us to just as I finish this actually, so that's great. So we have now removed all of the... well, we haven't removed them. We've replaced all the flat ceilings with glass ceilings. And as I mentioned before, unfortunately you can't do anything about the ramps that are there. It needs something to support the benches. But I think it's looking kind of cool. I think it's kind of working. As I say, from like a bit of a distance away, it looks really cool. Look, it's sort of snaking around that tree. Eventually this lower layer of pillars and stuff won't be there. I need it in place in order to build out the circle up on the top level there. Because if I was to take these away, I wouldn't be able to get the line on the upper circle right. So next I just want to make it kind of look a bit more like it's supported. So what I was thinking is two things. A bunch of places where I'm going to do this. So I'm just going to do this kind of all the way around the tree. Why did it snap to that one before? Now it's not snapping here. I'm sure what it's actually... interesting. So it's going to snap to the... yeah, that makes sense. So it will snap to the ceilings. Yeah, so it's snapping to the yeah, just the glass ceilings there. So I'm going to do a bunch of these, but then I think I'm also going to... I want to see what this looks like. So I want to grapple. Be a little bit careful that I don't encroach on the upper layer here, but so wherever I've got this, I'm also going to do... hoping this is going to let me do this. Yeah, okay. So wherever I've got a metal pipe, I'm also just kind of not going to be too anal about this, to be honest, but approximately put a zip line down. Come on, there we go. It's been a little bit temperamental. So it will look, in theory, once I've done it all, it will look like the tree, that platform or the spiral staircase is kind of suspended from the tree. Alright, so let me do that, guys, because that will take me a bit of time, and then again I'll bring you back. Okay, I think this is kind of working. I think it's looking kind of cool. I'm considering doing something underneath with pipes as well. Like angled pipes back into the tree. I've got a couple of places where it yeah, if you look actually very closely, in a few places it's not actually touching the tree, but I think we'll just accept that. So let's have a look at, let's just have a little look at it from a distance. I think that looks like it's kind of legitimately being suspended. So it's braced with those metal pipes there, and then it has the cables going up, sort of imagine those are like steel cables. I don't know if you noticed as well, but I also can get a bear up and down it, so I can get it's a double path, so it's bouncy as hell. But there you go, we get him up there. So what I might do is a bit more of this up here. So in order to do that, I need to build, as I said before, each one of these pieces up here corresponds to a piece down on the ground down there. So in order to continue up at this level, I need to get all of these. Basically, I need to raise the ceiling heights all the way up here, which is a bit annoying. So it's a bit of a grind, this one. So I'm probably going to break it up into a few more episodes. Once we've got the actual kind of structure. So I think probably what I'll do is I'll just off camera on this one, I'll just kind of take you, bring you back when I've established the full platform up there. But yeah, I think it's looking kind of cool. That one's totally not acceptable. It's not anywhere near the edge. So let's demolish that. See if we can get a better one than that in somewhere. Even higher up would be better, I think. Yeah, that looks better. So I think what I'll do is I'll leave anything with the underneath stuff until I've been able to remove these. Actually, I'm just thinking the quickest way to do that is probably just to pillar up rather than go walls. Alright guys, so yeah, I'll bring you back when let's just notice there's a pteranodon or something stuck up there. Stupid thing. I'll bring you back when I've done that. Back a bit. Okay, so we have the level on the top now. But I've run into another slight challenge. So it's quite difficult to get this this even. I kind of don't really want. So this is the sort of discrepancy you get when you do a 16-sided shape. So it's exploded out to this sort of degree. You get these gaps that appear because obviously they're not close enough together, and then you get the kind of knobbles. But I got that on the arena. So you can see from here it's not entirely even. And I did a lot of work to try and cover that up and hide that away. I think I'm actually going to do something slightly different up here. What I'm going to try and do is, now I've got roughly the kind of level, I'm actually going to trace the edge out, or an edge out, with the fence foundations. Because I think I'll then be able just to take away all the existing ceilings, basically use the fence foundation. The fence foundation ring should just float here at this height, and then I'll be able to build the shape up and back towards the tree from the fence foundations. So it's turning into a bit of a beast of a build, this one, which I don't mind, but I'd rather kind of put all this effort in it and it look good, and not have it kind of getting a bit raggedy, which is what it's doing at the top here. Also, somewhere along the line, I think I must have missed a pillar or broken a pillar, because I've ended up with this kind of section that I couldn't bring up from below for some reason. So I had kind of a segment of the circle missing anyway. It's not too bad on this edge, but then as you get over here, it just gets more and more kind of ragged. So yeah, I think that's the plan. So I'm gonna as I said, I'm gonna trace the fence foundations all around the edge. I'll show you what I'm doing to do that. Just turn my HUD back on again. So I've basically just been placing them down, and I need to do stuff like place extra ceilings and things just to make sure I don't fall off the edge. And then, but obviously the fence foundations I can free place wherever I want to place them. So in theory, it doesn't really matter where I place these. So that one I think probably should go straight. And then I can start to turn now. Is that getting a bit narrow though? So that's actually 4 out from the centre. It's kind of difficult to keep track. So we're at 3 there. But the idea is where I get things like this, that I can just kind of go. I can just kind of go like that, and I'm doing this obviously by eye, but I'm cutting that corner off, and that will obviously mean that when I come to the actual kind of building it out, I'll have a bit more of a smoother edge. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a particularly consistent shape though. That's the only problem. I think it's probably going to be pretty uneven. But I'd rather it's uneven, an odd shape, but smooth than this kind of ragged edge. So if you can sort of see what I'm doing, I'm just kind of free placing it and eyeballing it. Eyeballing a turn as I go. Be careful not to fall off, which I've done a few times. With the idea being that I try and keep the angles as smooth as possible. Oh, well, that was nearly over the edge. Where I need to. So what, I mean, all I'm really doing here then with the, oh, hello, it's not really particularly helpful when it does that to me. All I'm really using then the ceilings up here is just to get the height, of this, these fence foundations, because these fence foundations are obviously now being offset by the vertical height of the ceilings. So here's a good example of where I can recover a dodgy angle there by just doing that. So in terms of what I'm actually going to kind of do up here, I see 2 carnos down there, 3 carnos in fact. That is one of the slight concerns. Is obviously I've made all this out of wood, so I'm probably going to have to give it some glass hidden walls just down below, just to make sure nothing comes and smashes all the stairway away, because that would be painful. Gonna do another one there. So actually, I've had a couple of crashes. I think I'm doing some stuff that the server's not happy about. I noticed that when I actually got a crash when I basically ended up coming up the stairs. I sat down by accident, and I think there were so many places that I could sit down that it got so confused. Right, that isn't where I want that one. I'll make sure it snaps on that so I keep the right height. This is getting a bit confusing now. Because obviously I've got so many things I'm snapping to. What's that snapping to? Is that another? Let's go vertical. Just go straight on this, I think. Go straight there as well. I've got a fence foundation. There's the nearest fence foundation. So I just want to keep with me for this. It's a little bit boring, but I just want to show you what I'm doing. So, because I think this is probably a little bit, it's a little bit complicated for me to explain what I'm doing here, and it's probably easier just for me to show you, bring you along. Has that gone down again? That has, hasn't it? So let's just do that again. I want to make sure it's all at the same level. Right, so where is our turn coming? It seems like we haven't turned in a long time. Where's that fence foundation? So it's about there. I swear, this is the trolliest of areas to build in. Because if you're not getting rain, or it's waited all night for the sun to come back up again, and then we've got rain, and then as soon as that rain went, I got a beacon. That's a mistake. But then sometimes I suppose things around about, you do get the things that spawn in there, and also it's quite useful when we're obviously because we're doing the clustered servers. It's a bit like waiting for the bus. So that drop comes along, and I use that sometimes to get things backwards and forwards between the cluster. So where are we at now? Be really handy if I could actually see the fence foundation. So I know I've got one here. Are we all linked up? Is that all linked up now? There's the fence foundation there, isn't there? So, I'm not sure we're actually entirely linked up, but it's okay. We can start to pull things out here. So the only problem I think I may well have, which could be annoying, is I noticed down below, so far so good, but because the hitbox of this this tree is actually kind of funny, you get places where you can't get things back from inside. It basically too close to the tree that you can't access the hitbox for the ceiling to recover it, but they seem to be alright. So I think what I have to do, if I remember rightly, is I need to, I'll leave that little walkway there so I can get to that box. So there's my fence foundation. If I remember rightly, I need to place a wall on a fence foundation in order to build a ceiling off of that wall. I think that's right. We should find out in a second. So let's take. Oh, those are all the walls we've got. I think maybe we've got walls down below. So this is just another it's just a wooden wall. We've not got any wood wall. There we go. It's another one of those kind of, doesn't really have a massively practical purpose, this. Here we've got 59. It will be a practical thing. We'll be able to park dinos up here and stuff, but we could have just built a tree platform. That would have been a lot easier. but then, you know, sometimes this game is about exploring what you can do and stuff, so certainly is for me anyway. So is that on the fence foundation? That's definitely on the fence foundation. What I can do is kind of just roughly place these down. got to make sure that I'm hitting the fence foundation and not the edge of the ceiling, for example. That one seems a bit funny. And you can see that the shape is getting smoother here. In theory, although I've got a few places where I've certainly got a few places where I've put the fence foundation in the wrong spot. Like that's. I wonder if that was actually on the fence foundation. That on the fence foundation. It's definitely difficult to tell. So I don't want it snapping on the ceilings because when I don't want to have to rely on those shapes. Sure, what's going on there? That looks like it's probably the fence foundation. Not sure about that one. Difficult to tell again. Oh, that's the fence foundation there. This is hopefully getting to be a smoother shape. It's a smaller shape, but that's not really an issue because once I've got the shape, I can expand it easier. So we've ended up if we end up doing this, which I think we're probably going to end up doing this because it looks like it's kind of working. What's that one? I think that one's that. Then, what's happened here? Something odd's happened here. Is this maybe where we got to? When I thought I was oh, no, there was one there. Okay, so it's a little bit janky, but I think what I can now do is start to do this. So I'm now building out from the fence foundations and not from those ceilings. You see what I mean? Can I? No, I don't want that wall there. I don't want that ceiling. So I'm going to go all the way around again, guys, and I'll probably not do too much more on this, but it's raining and that noise is annoying, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay, it is the early hours of the morn, and I think I'm done actually. I think it's come out pretty well. I'll just show you. I'll try and run around the edge without in K mode without falling off here. There's a couple of little places that I can fix up. Like there's a bit here that needs a bit of fixing up. I think I can just fiddle around with the fence foundation to do that. Just put another fence foundation down there and correct those little holes. So let's have a little look from down below. Oh, of course I'm starving. Yeah, so I think this is coming together now. I think that's looking pretty cool. I'll have to decide whether I bring the ceilings in. So whether I bring that in back towards the trunk. It might just make it feel a bit more solid up there. I think I probably will. Probably do that off camera. But yeah, I think it's starting to come along. You can't really see the ropes and stuff in this light, but let's just have a look from up here. I think these are the angles. It's a shame about the ramps. Definitely, it'd look a lot cleaner if you could hide those ramps away. But yeah, I think that's looking pretty cool. I might actually do what I've done with the. I might do some. That's got to go. Something to sort of look like it's that the fence foundation, the platform itself is supported, because obviously the at the moment that looks like it's kind of just sitting there on the tree. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. I think it's kind of working. needs some more work doing to it. It'll probably go on for a while, this one. I think I'll probably go back and do some work on the Crystal Isles build before I continue this. Just because it's actually been quite a lot of, I mean, this is 2 episodes, but this is always the balance of what you do in Ark, and in all games really, I guess. It's the finding the balance between what is loads of work off camera. I've got to go and kill that car now, I think, while I'm still spawned in here, and what looks good. So this has been a lot of work off camera, but I think it's worth it. But yeah, so let me know what you think, guys. I will have to make sure I build some protection around this so that these carnos don't come and destroy it while I'm offline, because that will not be good. But yeah, so let me know. As I said, let me know what you think. As an idea, if you think it's coming together. It's got a lot more work to do. Got probably a bit more of a structure up the top. But yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support and everything. My name is Toves, and I shall catch you on the next one. Take it easy.